So we're gonna do something different today. You're gonna be so mad.
What? I'm not on the show?
So I was thinking we'll do like rumors together or something.
In addition to the regular show or not regular show? So it's not an interview. Just tell me what we got to do.
All right, so what happened is Charlamagne left because he had to be somewhere, and then Envy was like, I'm not staying, and he left too.
He disrespected me like that?
Who?
Envy.
I feel bad because I know we always joke around.
Yeah, and I just put it shit. All right, what can we do? Can I come? I mean, I'll do whatever you need now, but so I won't be on even locally?
I'm sorry, I feel bad. We're just playing with you. His lips started trembling. You saw his lip trembling?
You're so wrong.
Donnell said.
I was like, I'm too early.
Donnell said, what can we do?
Y'all ain't shit.
He said, I can't even be a local?
I'm trying to sell some tickets, son.
His lips started trembling.
And I thought I could never get God again. After the first God, I got God twice. I don't know whoever the creative mind behind that. That was very good.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Sit your ass down, man. All right.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. And again, we got our guy.
First off, y'all not the Breakfast Club. Y'all the Evil Club. It's not even April Fool's.
I'm not evil like Donnell. We wanted to play a little prank on you, but I felt bad. Your lips started quivering.
My lips didn't quiver.
Your lips quivered a little bit.
What I've learned to be in my career is a problem solver. We all deal with problems, right?
True indeed.
But how do we deal with the problems and we solve them? So when Angela Yee told me that both of y'all had walked out on my interview, of course,
correct,
I was disrespectful. I thought I was disrespected. I wanted to talk about how you're never supposed to trust light-skinned people like that. And I gave you a pass. And I was like, I thought it was serious. I was trying to problem solve it. Like, how do I be able to do the Breakfast Club interview? And that's when they let me know that y'all played a joke of me.
Your eyes got watery. I felt
Angela can't hold it. Angela couldn't hold it.
I felt bad. Because, look, I know your son, Austin.
Right.
I saw Austin's little
Shout out
face.
to Austin. I love you, man. I love you. Keep being great in preschool. Daddy loves you. I'm going to make you win another
Austin gonna eat
Oscar.
regardless.
Okay, all right.
Of Donnell doing a Breakfast Club interview or not.
Right, but I just was like, you know, I really thought y'all was being disrespectful, and it really hurt. It really hurt me because me and you talk all the time.
All the
right?
time. That's my guy.
And I'm like this. I'm like, he couldn't give me a heads up or anything, and I was like, that's how it is. But
see, if we'd have waited 5 more minutes, we'd have got all of that on camera.
Man, yo,
Charlamagne couldn't text me.
It was coming.
Kevin Hart really did buy these chairs.
Yeah,
yes, he
That's
did.
what this was for.
Because it's built in for the Kevin Hart size.
Yes.
I had to put a little box up under there. Here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. This is when you know Kevin Hart is upset when he starts talking with his thumbs and his fingers.
What did you think about all of that from a comedian, an OG comedian like yourself?
I think, first off, I think enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? And like I've listened to all the interviews, and I think I definitely think it's unfortunate because all the people that are in the beef are successful.
That's the crazy part.
You know what I'm saying? It's successful. But the thing is, sometimes people don't respect everybody's come up. Everybody got a different come up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People like, I came up from the streets. Well, maybe that person didn't come up from the streets. They had another path to victory, but at the end of the day, they won. And I also think that it's easy for people to say, well, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But everybody on the outside wants you to have a humble opinion. They want you to be humbled by it. I listened to the Katt on another station.
That's all good. You went to in Atlanta.
Yeah, I listened to.
What did you think about that when he was shooting at Tiffany Haddish and everything?
First off, the first thing I thought was crazy was how the host, Wanda. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, you know, when he said you're not a good interviewer, I agree with him 100%. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to put him in a corner. We all know what the demons that Katt Williams has dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And me traveling and doing morning radio every time. After a while, you get sick of the same question. And she was trying to put him in that situation where he reacted like that, and he reacted. Now, on the comedian side of it, I speak the comedian language. I kind of understood what Katt Williams was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? People get to a certain level, certain route. You know what I'm saying? Has Tiffany Haddish been on a 100-city tour? No. You know what I'm saying? Has Tiffany Haddish been a headlining comedian across the country? No, but she had a different path. While everybody else was out on the street, Tiffany Haddish was out there. She was auditioning. Now, that could have been a question. How many auditions you had before you got there? Her path, she's a TV star. And I think
TV movie star?
TV and the movie star. And
But
I
she
think,
started on stage though.
but she started on stage. But what Katt Williams was trying to compare was, he was trying to compare the people that had been on the grind for years and years and years, banging out an hour of comedy every night. You know what I'm saying? Before Tiffany Haddish blew up, she was, and this is no disrespect, I love her. She was a feature. She was a strong feature headline. I remember one time she asked me, Donnell, can I get some road work? This was like 3 or 4 years ago. But at the same time, she sacrificed going on the road to commit to being an actor, to putting herself in a position. Now, some of the things that Katt Williams said, I could have respected more if he would have said, I appreciate her hustle. She started when she was 15. She was a foster kid. You know what I'm saying? How many success stories you know of people that came from foster homes that have made it? If he would acknowledge that, I would have kind of understood some of the things he said. I think that was, throughout that whole interview, I think that was the most unfortunate part about it, because you got to give her a props.
Yeah, you can't knock somebody's path to success.
You can't do that.
Now, what about Lil Rel? Do you think Lil Rel's cute? Or you think he's ugly?
See, here's another thing, and I wasn't going to address that. You ask crazy questions, son. If he's cute, I'm never going to address a man if he's cute or fine or anything. And you do a lot of booty talk too, son. I listened to you 3 times on the radio, and you talked about the boobity boop.
Why are you putting your finger up and rolling it
I'm in Kevin Hart's seat, son. You got to just start doing that.
You know his booty's wide open right now.
I see, and then you always endorse it.
Wow,
whenever you do the booty joint, you do the no look away assist, son. Go back with the booty, son. You know what I'm saying? And I know when you talking about the booty, the pop joint, son, I know at a certain age you got to deal with it, but you ain't got to talk about it. And you made it so like you have a conversation while the insertion is going on.
Donnell be like, he sent me this. He sent me Fleece Johnson, the Booty Warrior video. Then he goes, nigga, you going for the 3rd booty joint?
3 booty joints. It's a 2 booty minimum, son. Well, he went with 3rd.
You know, we had Dr. Oz here, and Dr. Oz said, you know, you don't really need to go to get it done.
He said only if you enjoy it.
Only if you enjoy it. And he says he's never heard anybody go 3 times in 7 days.
He said
he got a reminder on his phone, son. Booty check.
Little finger emoji.
Nah, too much information.
But no, seriously though, do you think Lil Rel's ugly?
Oh my goodness.
You think he's only on because he's ugly?
Nah, I mean, I won't say he's ugly. I'll say he suffers from what I suffer with. It's called the regular face niggas. Niggas are regular face. I know you don't think you have a regular face anymore, but I know. And you coming from like a fine man's perspective. It's like, let's talk about these ugly niggas.
Right. Like he's not with them.
You was one of us, son. You just left us. You got to stay there,
You
son.
said was. You said I left.
No, because you
just acknowledge I'm fine,
Beauty
Donnell.
is in the eye.
He flirting with you, Donnell.
In the eye of the beholder, and you believe you fine. So subconsciously, I'm starting to think that.
Oh, we should do that over. We should do R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly. I believe I am fine.
I ain't doing nothing with R. Kelly.
Please don't.
Yo, I done burnt my CDs and everything, son. I'm staying clear of that.
Donnell, you wrote something a little weird to me. Can you read this out loud?
Oh, my goodness.
This nigga love booty talk.
That's not what it says. That's not what it says.
I said, was he having a full conversation with a finger in his booty?
No, he said, me love booty talk.
No, I didn't say that, but you know that's the typo. Sometimes you're talking to
me.
Yeah, when you text it too fast, sometimes it
says me love booty talk. I was like, what is Donnell talking about?
It was in reference to the situation with Charlamagne. That's what it was.
Don't make me screenshot it.
Yes, sir.
Who was your gatekeeper?
My gatekeeper? The hell to get? I don't really know if it was anybody that was a gatekeeper, but it was people that gave me opportunities. Is that the answer to the same question?
Yeah. Do you believe in gatekeepers?
I believe in.
You saw Mike Epps.
Yeah,
right?
I believe in gatekeepers, but I believe you can go past them. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in the world we're in now with social media. I give you a perfect example. Just Hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I remember it was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I remember like a random DM. It wasn't nothing nasty. But she was breaking into comedy, right? And she asked me, like, what advice would you give an up-and-coming comic coming up? I said, don't ask for advice. Let the microphone be the true test of who or where you're going to go. And the reason why I say I don't think there's any true gatekeepers because, and at that time, she probably had like 75,000 followers. Yeah. And the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? 75,000 followers to 4 million followers to millions and millions of fans to being on one of the top networks. In the business, you don't, at one point, when I first started, you had CBS, NBC, ABC. If you had a relationship with any of those, you wasn't getting on.
Right.
But now you can create your own opportunity.
Absolutely.
You are your own gatekeeper. Because it's in certain cases unfortunate because I don't think that how many followers are a true testament of how funny you are. You know what I'm saying? But like to go from 75,000 followers to millions of followers to being respected, and everybody hated on her. They was like, oh, she's a social media comedian. But I didn't see her work. I didn't see her make the industry and the people come to her. Back in the day, there was a lot of gatekeepers, but now you're your own gatekeeper.
Because you have access to an audience.
You have access, and it's like, what work you going to put in?
That's what I be saying, and they be trying to tell me, no, that's because you in the Illuminati and you can't reveal the secrets. No, I feel the same way you feel. Just Hilarious, DC Young Fly, even Cardi B from the music standpoint.
Right.
Like, there are no gates.
There are no gates, but people, like, a testament of how well you're going is the type of haters that you have. You're always going to have haters. People hate on DJ Envy. If you go to DJ Envy Instagram page and you see his lifestyle, you know why they hate him, because they envious. His name is representative of what people hate. You know what I'm saying? If people look atheists, they hate on you. They don't like your last name. They don't believe in God. A person like Angela Yee, if it's a woman that has low self-esteem and don't work for anything, and they see Angela Yee's shoe collection, they be like, how that bitch get all that? People look at where you are, but they don't look where you came from. And I tell you, with any success story, and you've heard this from Warren Buffett and many of people that make it and people that have a lot of money, they don't talk about the money no more. The most exciting thing to them is the hustle, the comeback. When I hook up with Tracy Morgan, I hook up with some guys that's been in for a while, motherfuckers don't talk about the shit they got now. They talk about where they came from and that hustle. That's the most interesting thing about the come up, is how hard you had to work and you got past that.
Did you hear Rob Stapleton up here?
I didn't hear Rob Stapleton.
Okay.
He was talking about Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
And he felt like he had the film that he was working on, and he hit up Tracy Morgan about it. And, well, he tried to. He went through somebody that was close to Tracy Morgan because he doesn't have his number anymore.
Right.
And he was upset that Tracy Morgan didn't even look at the film to see about helping him with.
But the whole thing is, this is another thing, man. Nobody owe you anything. Nobody owe you anything. This man right here, and I had to get over it. He said something to me, and I was like, yo, son, post this joint. And he told me, he said, yo, build your own ark and they'll come. And my response to that, like, fuck you, nigga, still post my shit. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say was, I took that. I wasn't upset about it. For a minute, I was. I'm like, yeah, nigga, but I'm saying, nigga, you got a nail, you got a hammer, help me build this, son. I'm like, we was guy code and all that. But sometimes the best lessons in life are the toughest lessons.
Right.
Had he not told me that, I would have been always feeling like somebody owed me something. I would have felt like, because of the relationship I had with him with Guy Code in the past, he's supposed to do that. But it woke me up. Don't ask for anything. You build it. Rob Stapleton, he was upset, but don't nobody owe you anything.
But I guess Rob was upset because he felt like he wrote a bunch of things for Tracy.
Yeah,
and then he felt like Tracy, even if he told him no, he would have liked for him to have at least looked at it and told him no.
Yeah, but you can't, first off, if you're going to ask somebody for anything, prepare yourself for them to say no or the rejection.
Right.
If you're not prepared for that, then you ain't prepared to ask them. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ask somebody something assuming that it could have been a whole bunch of things. You like, that's the story that Rob told. It could have been something underlining. But the thing like this with me is, when I get rejection or people don't want to fuck with me, it makes me go back to the drawing board. I'm not gonna complain about nothing. If I have an audition and I don't get the role, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna write a better role. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that builds you, and that's what grit is.
So
Do you know Donnell was supposed to play the Katt Williams role?
I wasn't supposed to play it, but
he auditioned.
I auditioned for it, and it was like, I'm not a real good auditioner. I'll tell you straight up. I'm like 50-50.
We know.
He was supposed to be on Power. Remember that?
Yeah,
that
then I messed my knee up, but it moved on to my brother Charlie Murphy, R.I.P. But I was like, and this is how I say I root for the next man. The audition I had, I was like, nobody's gonna fuck with that audition. I was like, nobody. I'm calling my agent, so did we get the offer? When they gonna call, right? And then after a while, you know they ain't gonna call. You know what I'm saying? If production is 2 weeks and it's a week and a half,
need some water, man?
You ain't gonna get it. No, I'm good. Just let me speak my piece,
I'm sorry.
bro. Thank you. This nigga said, I'm sorry, yo. Y'all got to put that for the record. But I really thought, I was like, nobody's gonna be. Then when I heard that Katt Williams, and I only heard because when the Emmy type of buzz was going on around him, when I heard he got it, I could see why he got it, because Katt Williams is the type of person that would actually own an alligator. You know what I'm saying? So that role, and he's that wiry dude. He's that, that out of the box dude. And I was happy that he got it, because you look at yourself like, why didn't I get it? But like, When I saw the casting or whatever, it wasn't stunt casting. He did a great job. And with that said, the most unfortunate thing about the whole Tiffany Haddish and Katt Williams situation, when people forget, Katt Williams won an Emmy the same night Tiffany won an Emmy.
Absolutely.
Yes. And she said, I'll see you when we go pick up our Emmy. She even
and if
tweeted
you're
that.
talking about, and you know, Katt Williams' career has been up and down, but at the same time, the streets love him. There's no denying that. They're always going to support him.
He's funny as hell.
He's funny as hell. He's put the work in. I thought that it was unfortunate because people talking about the Tiffany Haddish and Katt Williams that situation, but it should have been talking about Katt Williams' back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got an Emmy off of one character on one show. And if it was ever issue of mainstream America accepting you or whatever, that was answered with an Emmy. You get an Emmy,
right?
You get to move into something
but
else.
You know what I want to say though? You know, you talk about Wanda, you talk about interviews. See, the bad thing with Katt is he don't do many interviews, right?
Right.
So when you get somebody in there, you want to know everything about them. So that's why she probably asked about the jail stuff and all that.
No, that ain't why she just asked him about that shit. She does that. You know what I'm saying? I've interviewed, and it's not to throw no shade. I've interviewed, and I've done radio enough. I know when you go into a place and the energy is real quiet, they ready to ask you some crazy shit. I was like, so we heard you're gay. Like, out of nowhere, hey, how you doing?
They asked you that?
Did they ask you that
No,
before?
they didn't ask me that. But I remember
How did you reply?
What you doing in Atlanta that they would ask you that? What did they
booty talk, booty talk, booty talk, booty talk. Bill Bellamy, do a sequel with this nigga, son. Booty talk, booty talk, booty talk. No, and it was me coming straight. I was fresh off of a TMZ. It wasn't a good TMZ. I got two TMZs. I got daytime TMZ, then I got nighttime TMZ.
Which one was it?
It was a nighttime joint. It was a DUI.
Okay.
And it was fresh off the press, and she looked me right in my face, and she was like, so what's up, Mr. TMZ? Ask me whatever question, you know. So I don't think that was unfortunate. Okay. And the thing about it, that interview, it wasn't even supposed to be about Katt Williams. It's about Red Grant.
Oh, that's right.
And at the end of it, all you saw was Red Grant laughing in the back, right? and that joint went viral.
You know what? The thing about the Katt thing that's silly too is like he talking about Tiffany and Girls Trip, but you got an Emmy for the same thing. Somebody wrote that role for you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather talk about me.
Yeah.
You brought them up.
Let's go, Donnell.
What?
Let's talk about
Do you consider yourself an ugly comedian?
I consider myself a regular face comedian.
Regular face. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Donnell, when you travel so much, how do you write new material for your shows?
I don't write new material. I go to where material is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out in the streets, I'm out in people, I'm connecting with people. That's the best. You don't have to sit down and write. If you just sit in the house and just try to write a joke, it's gonna be hacky. It's gonna be contrived. You're trying to force it. But if you just surround situations, like everybody, especially if you're a comedian, people, you'll say something, people like, oh, that should be on stage. And that's where I get my writing from, like being real life experience.
I want to be on record as saying, and I always say this, Donnell is one of the top 3 comedians in the country.
You ain't always say that, nigga.
Who is not Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock. Because Chappelle and Chris Rock,
you ain't always say that, son. You just started saying it, son.
He just said it today, actually.
Radio City Music Hall.
But I've seen Donnell a bunch over the years.
Yeah.
He always funny, but Donnell is on a different level. Donnell is one of the best stand-up comedians out here who ain't Chappelle or Chris Rock.
And I appreciate you saying that, but at the end of the day, man, everybody want to come up here and talk about this person not doing that person, but you got to realize we blessed. They say it's 5% of the people in the world to get to do something that they really, truly love. Mm-hmm. So, you know, nobody got time for that who thinks funny. This is the most offensive word for a comic. You ain't funny.
But it's 3 words.
That's 3 words. That's not the word.
That's 3 words.
It's probably a phrase.
3 words.
Look, I'm counting myself like, you ain't funny. I'm doing syllable. You ain't funny. I'm just saying, that would set a comedian off more than anything, son. You ain't funny. And any situation you heard with a beef, it wasn't the money, it wasn't all that stuff. It was saying somebody's not funny.
Now, Donnell, let's be clear. You are officially part of the Breakfast Club.
He is.
Whoa.
Officially, in what sense?
You're not getting paid, if that's what you're asking.
You do Man on the Street for us on Revolt.
I do Man on the Street. Y'all don't never talk about it. They don't think I'm Man on the Street.
I do.
Y'all don't never talk about it. You don't do no drops or nothing. You gotta accidentally stumble on me like, oh yeah, he on it.
I
don't
do
got
drops
no drops
every morning for Revolt.
Absolutely.
Where's my key card? Can I get a key card?
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
I don't think we want you up here like that.
Not like that, like that.
No, I just but I am. And people love Breakfast Club. Everywhere I go, people love the Breakfast Club. But they always say, "Why you let them fuck with you like that?" Everywhere I go.
What are you talking
No,
You're evil, son.
I still feel bad about earlier. I do. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You feel bad after you didn't have that look on your face at the beginning. You was like, you let me ride with lip was shaking like a crackhead. And everything.
Do you think that you should look out for your haters?
No, the way you fuel your haters is keep succeeding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Hart didn't have to, Kevin Hart has been taking the high road for so long. You know how hard it is for a 5-foot dude to take the high road? It's almost impossible, son, without an apple box or something to stand on. But after a while, you're going to say, you'll say enough is enough and you want to address it.
I like the way that you kept your career going even after Chappelle's show.
It's like
he had a career before that.
I had a career before that, but it's.
Donnell had a lot of up and downs too, but he's been able to drive through it though.
I don't think I had too many downs.
Yeah, what are you talking
son,
about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
son? I had them down. But
Why you have to say that?
yo,
What downs did he have?
How does this nigga see you, Donnell?
Yeah. I saw it. He was Eddie Kane. He was Eddie Kane in all of them. Nights like this, wish that raindrop would fall.
He's like, you don't remember you were a driver for a while?
How do you see Donnell?
Now I will say I've been after a career of 23, 24 years. I've been consistent. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I always thought.
Yes.
What people think is like when you part of shows like The Wire, when you part of shows like Chappelle's Show, those shows are so iconic. People want to compare the rest of everything you did to that.
You was on The Wire?
I was on The Wire. First season and the last season.
He was a driver on The Wire.
Yeah, and I got caught with the money.
Oh,
on The
yeah.
Wire. I was on The Wire the first episode, the first season, and the last season.
And you was on the corner.
I was on the corner too. But I was supposed to, the first season, my character was supposed to develop, but it was so much issues with the Baltimore Tourism Board on the depiction of Baltimore because it's always about heroin and addiction. Mm-hmm. So David Simon was under pressure. That's why the storyline went from the towers to the docks. They had to switch the storyline. And when they switched the storyline, my character got lost. But David Simon, he's pretty loyal to actors he worked with in the past. Mm-hmm. So he brought me back on the last season on The Wire. I was excited about it, but I was nervous at the same time because on the HBO, anytime it's the last season of anything, the writers get vindictive. They start doing evil stuff. Mm-hmm. Like on the last season of Oz, it was dudes getting raped on Oz that weren't even on Oz.
What?
So they were just like, yo, I'm just going to the bathroom, son. I'm not even on this shoot, son. I'm on Nickelodeon, bro. But that was, I would say to, it was a magazine, Entertainment Weekly did a story, and it was the top 100 television shows of all time. And Chappelle's Show and The Wire were both on this. So if I could say anything, I've made history be a part of two great shows.
Would you consider Chappelle a gatekeeper?
I wouldn't consider him a gatekeeper. I consider him as a person that can make opportunities. Mm-hmm. Of course he can make opportunities. And the thing is, a lot of times, the reason why people don't want to give another man opportunities because they're afraid. Mm-hmm. They're afraid of what they're going to do. They're afraid that person going to outshine them. And testament to Dave's character, and I consider myself a beast on stage. Dave will put me on the road. The average headliner is not fucking with me because they want it soft. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
They want all the excitement to be when they come on stage. And for Dave, when I'm on the show with him, Radio City Music Hall, wherever we travel, nobody knows that I'm there. They're like DJ Trauma, who's normally the resident DJ.
DJ Trauma.
Shout out to DJ Trauma. But he'll be like, okay, guys, we get ready to start the show. We got a special guest. You see him on The Wire. You get a couple claps. You see him in Spider-Man 2. You get a couple claps. But then he'll say, but you fell in love with him as Ashley Larry from the Chappelle Show, and the room goes ape shit. You know what I'm saying? The average headliner is not going to want anybody to get that reception before they go on. Mm-hmm. I go up there, I do my thing, and then him being the person he is, he come right behind it. Two different styles, two different energies. My stuff is blah blah blah. I'm right there. He's slow. He's more of a boxer. You know what I'm saying? I'm a brawler, and he goes up there and makes that transition from my energy to his energy, and it's no foul.
Everything you're saying is accurate except for the crowd going ape shit. Now,
No. You must not have been in my show.
When?
What?
When they bought him out at Radio City.
They go ape shit.
Ape shit. They went crazy.
Yeah, you know why? No, they did go crazy for Donnell. And part of it,
you know what he sound like?
Ape shit.
You know what he sound like? A hater.
Yeah.
And you know a hater, they always start these sentences off like this. I mean, they went ape shit, but they didn't go ape shit. I mean, no.
You know what I really enjoy watching you perform in like the smaller venues. I went to go see you in Brooklyn, right across from the Juice Bar.
Yeah.
At Casablanca, and when I tell you Donnell tore it down in there, it was crazy.
The reason
I love my Carolines too. He killed Carolines.
Those places like the Radio City Music Halls, those big those venues like that, they're the showcase venues, you know. But if you really want to see a test of a true comic, like you say, find them in an intimate environment.
Yeah.
Find them in the smallest situation.
It's probably like 70 people.
I had It was a. I won't
That's the
say.
downtime Envy was talking about.
You gotta practice somewhere.
There was quick story. There's a celebrity chef. I won't say their name. Celebrity chef. When my son, when I was having my son's baby shower, I wanted this celebrity chef to, like come and help me with the food for my son's baby shower. So I reached out to the chef, and we were all good. I was like, what can I do to help you make this easier? And we were all good with this idea of them helping the cook, because a lot of my friends like this person.
Right.
And then at the last minute, they pulled away. Ooh. And the example they gave me, they was like, I don't know if it was big time. He was like, Donnell, I don't do open mics. Like, they too big to do
baby showers. Right?
I don't do
you
open
just
mics.
blow a kiss at Donnell.
I'm blowing a kiss at Carolina.
No,
you blew a kiss at Donnell.
You see how disrespectful the Breakfast Club is, son?
No.
How you interview me?
Carolina, come here.
Man, bring nobody in my interview, son.
Why did you blow Donnell?
Oh my God, this is so disrespectful, man.
Well, Donnell,
Carolina, did I blow a kiss at you?
Thank you for joining us, Donnell.
You think I blew a kiss at him?
How you doing?
All right,
you think I blew a kiss at him?
No, I was dropping off a baby present. I'm so sorry.
Donnell's telling a story.
This weekend,
oh, yo, that's y'all are so disrespectful.
And Charlamagne blew a kiss at him.
Yo, son, you really doing this, son? Yo, this is really happening. This is my interview right now.
Bye, Carolina.
Oh, the level of disrespect is awful, son. This is what you call friends.
All right. Tell me, I take your podcast.
Y'all ain't shit.
Like 11. Yeah.
All right, back to your story about what were you talking about?
The celebrity.
He was telling a story. He wasn't telling a story.
I ain't no story.
He said he's gonna be at Caroline's this weekend.
Donnell, as long as this story doesn't end with you deciding to cook, because you cannot cook.
I don't want to talk about that. I can't.
Go ahead.
But here's the story. So the celebrity chef, I guess they had got to a point where they was too big for certain things. They on TV and everything, and it was like, Donnell, I don't do open mics. Do you do open mics? Do you continue to do open mics? I said,
yes.
Not only I continue to do open mics, I had just did a show at Radio City Music Hall, 6,500 people, got off stage, got in the car, and went to Brownsville and performed for 15 people.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you can't never stop sharpening your toolbox. You can't never stop sharpening your toolbox.
How would you sharpen the toolbox?
By performing.
You were sharpening the tools, not the toolbox.
Not the box. What's wrong with you, man?
Yo, y'all have so many people up here that y'all don't put this pressure on, son. Y'all know I'm not good at reading out loud. Y'all know I don't do that. I tell jokes, son.
Used to do radio together, right? We used to have reading contests, and we used to bet each other.
No, it wasn't a contest. You never was in it. You just bet on me. Bet against me.
I got $50. You can't read this paragraph.
What?
Without stuttering.
Okay.
All right.
And it's about you.
It's about you. Go.
Let's see.
Go.
Donnell Rawlings is an actor and writer from Washington, D.C. He's well known for being a cast member on The Chappelle Show. He made an impact on the show with his character, Ashley Larry, and his iconic phrase, "I'm rich, bitch!" I threw that in there. He has a series of sketch comedy clips on his From Ashley to Classy. Don't do that, son. On his From Ashley to Classy album. Rawlings has had multiple successful shows at Radio City Music Hall. An actor. He has made appearances on The Wire and Spider-Man 2. I didn't stutter, son. On The Wire and Spider-Man 2. He was in the Air Force for 4 years. Rawlings is also a police officer in Washington. That's a typo.
You were a
police officer.
He was a cop?
Donnell, I didn't know you was a cop.
No, I was a police officer in the Air Force waiting to become a police officer in D.C.
And what happened?
I used to work for this grocery company. I used to be head of security for this grocery company, and as a form of camaraderie, we would go to the comedy connection at Greenbelt, and we would go to the club. And I used to heckle the comedians on stage. So we used to go every week, and I became popular as a heckler. Comedians would come and be like, "Yo, could you let me work out my material? Don't mess with me today." And I became so good at a heckler that the club owner wanted to shut me up. This is how I started. He dared me to go on stage. I wasn't excited about doing it then. 2 weeks later, I went on stage, and the rest was history.
So you was a troll then, originally?
Oh yeah, I was 100%. People started coming to see me heckle. And before I even told a joke, I tried to negotiate a deal. I did an envy joint. I said, listen, I've increased your business by 30%, right? I did a Flip New Jersey move. I said, I've increased your business by 30% as a heckler. I think it's time to cut me into this, and I should get some of this profit. They looked at me like I was crazy. They dared me, and ever since that day, I never looked back. It was something I was stuck with.
You had a gun?
In the Air Force, I was the worst cop ever, man. I made one stop in 4 years. And that was
Who'd you stop?
It was this girl, and this was before the whole Me Too thing,
gosh.
and she was scantily dressed.
Scantily clad.
Yes, you know this. Read. And and I pulled over to get her phone number, and that's the only arrest I ever made.
You arrested her?
Yeah, I arrested her.
Why
But you asked her for her phone number. Why did you have to arrest
Man,
her?
I need to spend more time.
She told you no?
I'm not following that. You're not gonna have me on CNN 20 years later. Son. You trying to get evidence, son? You asking some Kavanaugh questions, son. I don't know what you talking about. I don't remember anything, son.
But Donnell, you're at Caroline's, which means we're at Caroline's this weekend.
That's right, this weekend.
And I also want to say I started Live Nation just invested in me.
Woo!
Not a major investment, but I'm trying to break the cycle of I do a lot of comedy clubs. If you look at my schedule, I'm doing comedy clubs almost every weekend. But I'm trying to graduate to that theater mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play myself and think I could go sell out a 3,000 seater or anything like that without being a part of a group. But we're doing 3 shows this fall, Live Nation comedy. If you go to my website, DonnellRawlings.com, it's Minneapolis, Detroit, and I forget the other one, but
It's theaters? What is it?
It's theaters, but it's not huge theaters. Like theaters, like 8.
It's
or 900.
Detroit, Minneapolis, and Indianapolis.
Yeah, Detroit, Indianapolis, and Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Whatever. That's a tongue twister. But you know, I'm excited. But I go to DonnellRawlings.com and do that.
When you gonna do your stand-up, son?
And shout out to at Caroline. Did you listen
No,
to the
man.
show?
When you gonna do your stand-up special?
Another one.
You know what? And I don't know if it's premature, but I've been on the road with Dave Chappelle probably for the last 4 years, and almost after every show, he says to me, Donnell, you're ready. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there is some talks about Dave Chappelle and I getting together to produce my next.
So Dave, Dave need to do that. He need to EP your next special.
Dave Chappelle, I know
Dave
you watch
Chappelle.
these on the road. Let's do it, son.
I
Why you
still
not
be
on the road
watching
with
your
him?
old stand-ups.
Why you not on the road with him?
Because I got my own shit, nigga.
Okay.
Can he promote himself?
All right, I do my own thing.
Donnell's our guy, too. But just by the way, Donnell is our guy.
Yeah, we're just joking around.
And Envy, I mess with you a lot, but one of the things I do appreciate about your Instagram page is that you've got a lot of success. People look at that, and like I was saying earlier, they don't look at how you get it. And I was wondering myself, I was like, is this nigga selling dope on the low? And it wasn't for a couple of years. I didn't know that you was in real estate the way you are. But for a person to get the success that you have, and not only just want to keep, most people like, I'm going to be the shit and keep it to myself. The fact that you go out there and you teaching these classes and you showing people how to flip shit, I think that's some dope shit.
I got
but
about
I know, but
80
you
jobs.
flip, this nigga be on the moon flipping shit.
Now, I got about 80 jobs, but you know that's the whole purpose is try to encourage the youth and encourage people that look like us that don't know how to do it because I didn't know how to.
I think you just do that to get out of the house. Envy to take a trip to the moon. Gina, I'm looking at some properties. I'm about to flip Mars, Gina.
How your brother doing?
My brother.
Okay.
I have a lot of brothers.
Shoot
The
your
brother
shot.
in question is doing fine. Again, to
How
let
do you
you
know which brother he's talking about?
Because that's the only brother he ever fucking asked about. He's my brother. My
You
brother
still think I'm fine?
Nah, he stopped that long time ago, son.
Damn.
Yeah, he stopped that a long time ago, son.
Ever since he changed.
You
right?
had one fan, son, and it's gone now. Yeah, he's not supporting you, son. He do like you going to the doctor and getting that check all the time.
like the
He like this, when is he going back?
My goodness.
Nah.
It's Donnell Rawlings. It's the
Is that
Breakfast
it?
Club.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Bye,
wait a minute.
Donnell. We
Let
got
Donnell
other
give
stuff
out
to
his
do.
Instagrams and Twitter
No,
and
it's
stuff.
an average. That's it.
That's it.
I just want to say.
No, my
I
Donnell,
just,
it's over.
I
Shout out
just
to
want
Instagram, Donnell.
I just want to say this. Stop the bullshit. Let's get back to what we do. Making people laugh. Nobody got time for the hate.
Who you
Everybody's
talking
equal.
to?
I'm nobody. You never know who they talk.
He's talking to the
Never.
camera.
Who you talking to?
Nobody. I don't like Mike F says. I don't do names, right?
Donnell Rawlings.
I don't say no names,
It's the
Day Day.
Breakfast Club. Good morning.